Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Central. Get comfy and maybe just let this roll in the background while you're doing your thing.
Yeah, settle in.
We've got an awesome rundown for you today. We're diving deep into this incredible world of heroes and villains, My Hero Academia.
Mm,
We're going to break down all the major stuff that's happened across the 7 seasons we've seen so far.
it's a lot.
It really is.
Yeah.
Think of this as your super quick way to catch up on everything important.
That's right. We're going all the way back to the start with this kid, Izuku Midoriya.
Deku.
Right. In a world where practically everyone has these amazing powers called quirks, he's one of the very few who's born without any.
Yeah, totally quirkless.
But even though he's quirkless, he's got this massive dream, right, to become a top hero. It's pretty inspiring, actually.
Totally. Imagine wanting that so bad when you're just,
Yeah.
well, normal.
Yeah.
And he gets a really hard time from his childhood buddy, Katsuki Bakugo.
Oh, yeah, Bakugo, who's got that super powerful explosion quirk. Their dynamic is something else right from the start.
Definitely. But Izuku, man, he just keeps going. He's like the ultimate super fan, knows everything about every hero, especially his #1 idol, All Might.
Okay, let's unpack that beginning a little. It's fascinating seeing this quirkless kid, Izuku, and his absolute, obsession with All Might.
Mm.
Then you've got this intense early friction with Bakugo. It's not just about Bakugo having a cool quirk. It really shapes how both of them see the world, you know? And what it means to be strong.
You got it. And then this unbelievable thing happens. Izuku actually meets All Might in person. Can you even imagine?
Crazy, right? And he asks him straight up, can I be a hero without a quirk?
And All Might, who's secretly dealing with this serious injury that's like weakening his powers.
Right, his time limit.
He pretty much tells him, no, it's impossible.
Yeah.
That must have just crushed him.
It is, but here's where things get really interesting. A villain grabs Bakugo, right?
Yeah, the sludge villain.
And Izuku, even without any powers, doesn't hesitate. Not for a second. He just jumps in to try and save him.
It's his completely selfless act.
Yeah.
Pure instinct.
And that's what gets All Might's attention.
Right. All Might sees this kid who has absolutely zero special abilities, risking everything for someone else, even someone who bullies him.
Exactly. And that's the moment he decides. He offers to pass on his own quirk, one for all, to Izuku.
And the way he does it is just pure anime.
Oh, yeah.
Eating a strand of hair. Seriously, you can't make this stuff up.
It's wild. And one for all, it's more than just super strength, you know? It has this unique ability. It can be passed down.
Like a torch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's essentially the combined power of generations getting stronger with each person who inherits it.
So Izuku suddenly has this insane power, but he's got to figure out how to control it, like now, because he wants to get into UA high school.
The Top Hero Academy.
So we see him go through this crazy intense training with All Might pushing himself to the absolute limit, beach cleaning.
Yep, gotta prep the vessel. And even with Bakugo's constant, hostility.
Yeah, the jealousy's real.
Izuku shows incredible guts during the entrance exams and somehow manages to snag a spot. 0 points to hero points.
But it's not smooth sailing at all. Izuku can barely handle one for all at this stage. His body just isn't ready.
Breaks his bones constantly.
Yeah, he gets seriously injured pretty much every time he uses it. It really highlights the difficulty, suddenly inheriting such a massive ability.
Definitely. He ends up in Class 1A with this really cool but also kind of scary teacher, Shota Aizawa.
Razorhead, love him.
And things really start to get intense when Izuku and Bakugo have this throwdown during a training exercise, the first battle training.
Oh, yeah. Bakugo is all explosions and fury, just pure offense.
But Izuku actually uses his brain. He thinks strategically to come out on top, even if he wrecks himself doing it.
It's a real turning point in how they see each other, I think.
It is. It shows Izuku has potential beyond just brute force, but the stakes get even higher, immediately.
Yeah, with the introduction of the League of Villains.
Led by this creepy guy, Tamura Shigaraki. Hand-face guy.
All Might, being a teacher at UA, has definitely attracted some unwanted attention from some seriously bad dudes.
No kidding. So Class 1A is on another training exercise at this place called the USJ, the Unforeseen Simulation Joint.
And out of nowhere, bam! The League of Villains warps in through Kurogiri's black portal. It's a full-on attack.
And Shigaraki brings this terrifying monster called the Nomu.
Which has multiple quirks, engineered to fight All Might.
Their goal is pretty clear. Take down All Might. Thankfully, All Might does show up.
It just dominates.
Well, he manages to fight back and defeat the Nomu in this epic battle, plus Ultra.
But even though All Might wins that fight, Izuku and his classmates have to really fight to defend themselves against the other villains. It's terrifying for them.
Oh, for sure. It definitely makes them question the safety of UA and their whole future as heroes.
And that sets the stage for Season 2, where they're still kind of dealing with the aftermath of that attack.
Yeah, and the focus shifts to the UA Sports Festival, this huge event where students get to show off their quirks.
Like the ultimate hero showcase. Pro heroes are scouting for recruits.
But behind the scenes, All Might pulls Izuku aside. Big talk time.
Tells him his power is fading fast. He can only stay in his hero form for a limited time now.
So he gives Izuku this massive responsibility. You need to become the next symbol of peace.
No pressure, right? And he tells Izuku the sports festival is his chance to really announce himself to the world. I am here.
This adds a whole new layer to the festival. It's not just showing off cool powers. It's Izuku proving he has what it takes to eventually step into All Might's shoes.
The festival kicks off with these crazy obstacle courses. Mines, robots.
Designed to really test their quirks and how they use them under pressure.
Yeah, those obstacle courses were wild. And then comes the cavalry battle.
Teams of 4 trying to steal headbands worth points.
And because Izuku won the first event, he ends up with this ridiculous 10 million point headband.
Making him the biggest target in the whole arena. Everyone's after him.
He teams up with Ochako, Tokoyami, and Mei Hatsume. Yeah, pretty interesting mix.
Yeah, support course represent. And as you can imagine, everyone is gunning for those 10 million points. Shoto Todoroki, especially.
And he does get it. But Tokoyami manages to snag one of Shoto's headbands back. Super clutch move.
Let Izuku's team actually move on. Barely.
Speaking of Shoto, his whole deal during this arc is so intense. He's got this rivalry with Izuku.
But it's all tied up in his complicated feelings about his dad, Endeavor, who's obsessed with being number 1.
Yeah, the whole using only his mother's ice thing.
It's a really interesting parallel. Both Shoto and Endeavor driven to be the best, but Shoto's motivations are so twisted by resentment, this all comes to a head in his fight against Izuku.
That fight was amazing. But first, Izuku faces Shinso.
Oh, yeah, the brainwashing quirk almost got him.
But then Izuku has this crazy experience, sees these shadowy figures, the previous users of One for All.
The vestiges! They help him break free. So cool.
He manages to win, then goes up against Shoto, who's still refusing to use his fire quirk because of his dad issues.
Right. Shoto's internal struggle is huge here. He sees using his fire side as, like, giving in to his father.
But eventually, Kazuku pushes him. It's your power, isn't it?
Gives me chills every time.
He finally uses it, blasts Izuku, wins the match.
Yeah.
But you can tell he's still super conflicted.
Totally. And in the final match, Shoto kind of hesitates against Bakugo.
And Bakugo just goes nuts, wins the whole tournament. But he's mad about it.
Yeah, he wanted a real win against Shoto at full power. Classic Bakugo.
After the festival, Izuku takes on the hero named Deku, which used to be a mean nickname, but he reclaims it.
And starts an internship with Gran Torino, who used to train All Might. Old guy has still got it.
This internship is crucial. Gran Torino helps him get a much better handle on One for All.
And he develops full cowl, spreading the power through his body so he doesn't keep breaking his bones constantly. Finally.
Meanwhile, there's this whole other thing happening in Hosu City, this villain calling himself the hero killer Stain.
Starts attacking pro-heroes he thinks aren't, like, true heroes, has this really warped ideology.
Shigaraki even tries to recruit him, but Stain's like, nah, yeah, I guess we're just thugs.
He's got his own twisted code, and it makes people think, you know, what is a real hero?
And it hits close to home for Tenya Ida, whose brother, the hero Ingenium, is badly injured by Stain.
Yeah, Ida goes full revenge mode, hunts Stain down in Hosu.
Deku senses something's wrong, uses a new full cowl to get there fast, shows up just in time.
And then Shoto shows up too, using his location tracker. Smart.
The three of them end up fighting Stain together. It's a pretty intense fight. Stain is terrifyingly skilled.
But they managed to take him down. Teamwork, even if it was kind of against the rules.
After Stain is arrested, All Might finally tells Deku the whole story about One for All and All for One.
Okay, deep lore time. All for One, the big bad, born with the ability to steal and give quirks.
He gave a stockpiling quirk to his seemingly quirkless younger brother.
But the brother actually had a hidden quirk, just won the ability to pass quirks on. The two merged.
Treating One for All. Wow, this power designed to stop All for One.
And this whole cycle of power and conflict started. All Might eventually got One for All, defeated All for One in the past, but got seriously hurt doing it. That injury.
Now Deku, as the 9th user,
and probably the final user,
is the one who has to take down All for One for good. Talk about pressure.
Seriously. And as Season 2 ends, final exams are coming up. Written and practical.
For the practical exam, Deku and Bakugo get paired up. Against who?
Their idol, All Might himself. Talk about awkward.
That must have been so weird. Fighting the person you admire most.
And even though they have a rough start, with their usual bickering.
They actually managed to pass by finally working together.
Sort of. Bakugo carries Deku over the finish line.
It's a huge step for their relationship, though, showing they can work as a team.
Meanwhile, the League of Villains is still out there, planning their next move, which leads us into Season 3.
Right. After the semester ends, Aizawa announces a summer training camp in the woods. Class 1A and Class 1B.
Summer camp. Sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
They go to this camp, train with the wild pussycats.
Test of courage. But of course, things can never be that easy for Class 1A.
Nope. Just when the training gets serious, Shigaraki sends his Vanguard Action Squad, led by Dabi,
to mess everything up and kidnap Bakugo.
Even though they were outnumbered, a lot of the students really showed what they could do. Some awesome fights.
Deku versus Muscular, that was brutal. Shattering his arms again.
Hetsu, Sutetsu, and Kendo versus Mustard Gas. Tokoyami losing control against Moonfish.
Ochako and Tsuyu barely escaping Toga. So creepy.
But unfortunately, Mr. Compress and Dabi do manage to grab Bakugo. Compress's quirk is perfect for kidnapping.
Shrinks him into a little marble, and they get away using Kurogiri's warp gate.
It's devastating. Deku tries so hard to save him, but just can't reach him.
And this whole thing leads to a huge public outcry. UA's reputation takes a massive hit.
Deku wakes up injured, but is immediately like, we gotta save Kachan.
He teams up with Shoto, Kirishima, and Aida. Momo makes a tracker. Night vision goggles.
While the villains are celebrating, a large group of pro heroes launch this massive rescue operation. Best Jeanist, Gran Torino, Mount Lady.
Edgeshot, Endeavor, All Might. It's like a full-on hero army. At the League's bar and the Nomu factory.
Just when it looks like the heroes might win, All for One himself shows up.
Uses some new quirk to snatch Bakugo and the villains away. And then we get it. The big one.
All Might versus All for One, the rematch.
This battle is so important. We finally learn the whole backstory. All for One killed All Might's mentor, Nana Shimura.
And groomed her grandson, Shigaraki, to be his successor. So twisted.
While All Might is fighting All for One, Deku and his friends put their own unsanctioned plan into action.
Yeah, Kirishima's appeal to Bakugo. Come on.
Bakugo blasts himself over. It's this chaotic scene, heroes and villains everywhere.
And then in this incredibly emotional moment, All Might uses the very last bit of his power, United States of Smash.
He finally defeats All for One, who gets taken into custody. But All Might, he's done.
With All for One captured, but All Might now powerless, he sends this kind of vague message through TV. Points at the camera.
Next is your turn. Everyone takes it to mean he's passing the torch to Deku.
It's a really powerful, but also really uncertain time for the world. The symbol of peace is gone.
As the new school year starts, UA decides. Dorms. All students live on campus for safety.
Makes sense. Better training, better security. After getting parental permission, of course.
And Aizawa announces Class 1A will be taking their provisional hero license exams against students from other schools, like Shiketsu.
The provisional license exams are a huge step, a chance to act like real heroes in the field. We see some tough challenges.
Including Deku going up against Kami from Shiketsu, who turns out to be Toga in disguise.
And she gets some of his blood. Creepy. Toga's quirk lets her transform into anyone whose blood she ingests.
Then there's the emergency rescue simulation. Gang Orca plays the villain.
Some of our main guys, like Bakugo and Inasa Yorashi from Shiketsu, initially fail because of their attitudes.
Yeah, clashing personalities.
Yeah.
But they get offered a special course to get their licenses later.
Back at the dorms, something big happens. A real heart-to-heart between Bakugo and Deku, late at night.
Bakugo finally confronts Deku about his borrowed power. Tells him how frustrated and guilty he feels about All Might losing his power when they rescued him.
Leads to a really intense fight between them, Deku finally using more power against him.
But Bakugo actually wins in the end. Barely.
It's like all that pent-up stuff just explodes, but after, All Might steps in.
Explains everything about One for All to Bakugo, who promises to keep it secret. It's a big moment of understanding between the three of them.
Huge. After a short suspension, Deku's back, and Eraserhead introduces the big three.
UA's top students, Mirio Dogata, Nijiro Hado, and Tamaki Yamajiki.
Mirio especially gives a demonstration of his permeation quirk.
And completely wipes the floor with the entire class, including Deku, Phasing is OP.
Shows them the level they still need to reach. Meanwhile, the League is getting stronger. New villain on the scene. Overhaul.
And Sir Night-Eye, All Might's former sidekick and Mirio's mentor, is investigating him. Night-Eye's quirk lets him see the future.
So Season 4 kicks off introducing Kaichisaki, a.k.a. Overhaul, runs the Yakuza group Shihasekai.
His quirk is terrifying. Disassemble and reassemble anything he touches, instantly.
And he's planning to bring the Yakuza back to power by making quirk-destroying drugs, using this poor little girl named Eri.
Her quirk can rewind living beings. It's awful.
Overhaul is a truly chilling villain.
Yeah.
Manipulates the League into a meeting, shows his ambition, kills Manya, compresses arm. Brutal.
At the same time, Deku starts his hero work study, trying to join Sir Night-Eye's agency.
Night-Eye's reluctant at first, still loyal to All Might's original vision for Mirio as the successor.
During his patrol, Deku and Mirio have this chance encounter with Overhaul and Eri. It's heartbreaking.
Overhaul plays the concerned father, forces them to let Eri go so they don't blow the investigation.
But that brief meeting makes Deku even more determined to save her. Sir Night-Eye holds a briefing, explains the danger, the plan.
The UA students involved are upset, especially Deku and Mirio, but Eraserhead encourages them.
Deku feels responsible. He has to rescue Eri. Leads to this massive raid on the Yakuza headquarters.
Multiple teams of heroes. Kirishima and Fat Gum versus Rappa and Tengai. Tamaki versus Toya, Setsuno, and Tebe.
Mirio's quirk is absolutely key. Phasing through walls, Lemillion.
And then we get this epic, really emotional fight. Mirio against Overhaul and his cronies.
Mirio's unwavering determination to protect Eri leads to him losing his quirk. Sacrifices it, shielding her from a quirk-destroying bullet.
Devastating. But it makes Deku even more determined. He catches Eri as she falls.
Driven by his need to save her, Deku unleashes One for All at 100%, using Eri's rewind quirk to negate the damage to his body.
Infinite 100%. It's insane. He finally defeats Overhaul. They rescue Eri.
But it comes at a cost. Sir Night-Eye dies from his injuries, his final vision. Deku changing the future he foresaw.
It has a huge impact on everyone, especially Mirio. Losing his quirk and his mentor, rough.
Eri eventually gets better in the hospital, starts to smile again. Mirio tries to stay positive.
After all that intensity, UA decides they need a break. Plan a school festival.
A much-needed moment of lightness. Class 1A decides to put on a musical performance. Hero takes the lead.
Her song is awesome. Hero 2.
But wouldn't you know it, even a school festival can't go off without a hitch.
New villain duo, Gentle Criminal and La Brava, plan to crash the festival to get famous online.
Gentle's quirk makes things elastic. La Brava powers him up with her love. Kind of sweet, actually, but still villains.
Of course they do. Thankfully, Deku runs into them first, fights Gentle to stop him ruining the festival for Eri.
It's not as world-ending as Overhaul, but it's important. Protecting the student spirits, protecting Eri's first chance at fun.
The festival ends with Class 1A's concert, which brings so much joy to Eri and everyone. A huge success.
It's really heartwarming after all the tough stuff. We find out Eri will stay at UA under Eraserhead and the Big Three's watch.
Elsewhere, Endeavor is officially announced as the new #1 hero after All Might's retirement. Big target on his back now.
He has that insane fight against the High-End Nomu, Hood. Shows his determination. Just watch me.
And the season ends with Deku having this incredible dream, meets the previous users of One for All inside the quirk.
Touches hands with Yoichi, the very first user, All for One's younger brother. Wakes up, hand glowing, room destroyed. Whoa.
That dream is a huge deal. Hints at all the secrets hidden within One for All, which leads us to Season 5.
Starts with Eraserhead, reminding the students. Provisional licenses mean act like real heroes. Leads into training against the Big Three again.
Yeah, playing villains shows the first years how much further they still have to go, especially with Mirio Quirkless now.
In a flashback after the high-end fight, we see Hawks meeting with Dabi. Turns out Hawks is a double agent.
Working for the Hero Public Safety Commission, infiltrating the League. Super dangerous position. Dabi's quirk is those powerful blue flames.
Hawks visits Endeavor in the hospital, apologizes silently. Endeavor goes home, faces his family drama. Natsuo is not happy.
Meanwhile, Deku has more vivid dreams, learns about All for One, and Yoichi sees the past.
Tells All Might and learns the previous users actually live on inside One for All.
Massive revelation, changes everything about the quirk. Later, Class 1A and 1B have a joint training battle.
Shinso from General Studies participates too, once into the hero course.
They team up for 4v4 matches. Deku versus Shinso rematch. Class 1A wins overall.
But the biggest thing? Deku unlocks Black Whip. A quirk from Daigoro Banjo, the fifth user, energy tendrils. Goes kind of berserk at first.
Yeah, Ochako and Shinso help him calm down. One for All is definitely evolving.
We also see this side incident, the Oki Mariner crew, illegal quirk-boosting drugs. Ryukyu Agency gets involved, Ochako, Suyu, Nujir.
And then there's this mysterious figure in a cathedral talking about chemicals for humanity's salvation. Definitely creepy foreshadowing, sets a darker tone.
Shortly after, Deku and Bakugo agree to intern at Endeavor's agency with Shoto.
They see the Todoroki family drama firsthand, meet the villain ending, Endeavor's still trying to atone.
As Class 1A celebrates the third semester starting, Eraserhead and President Mike go to Tartarus Prison to talk to Kurogiri.
And here's a huge twist. Kurogiri is a Nomu, made from their dead friend, Oboro Shirakumo.
They find out some Nomu have bits of their former selves. Shirakumo's briefly surfaces, gives a clue about the League's plans. So tragic. Kurogiri's warp gate is key.
Shows how twisted Dr. Garaki's experiments are. 2 months before this, Gigantomachia, All for One's loyal giant, challenges the League.
Says Shigaraki isn't worthy, the League gets teleported to Dr. Garaki's lab.
Garaki agrees to power up Shigaraki, but only if he can tame Gigantomachia. Leads to a brutal month of constant fighting. Shigaraki still hasn't won.
Meanwhile, Redestro of the Metal Liberation Army captures Jiran, invites the League to Deika City for a showdown. Redestro's quirk uses stress for power.
Sets up a major clash. 2 big villain groups. Shigaraki, showing strategic smarts, plans to use Gigantomachia against Redestro's army.
After finally proving his worthiness, awakening his decayed quirk fully and defeating Redestro, Gigantomachia submits to Shigaraki.
And then this huge power shift. The Metal Liberation Army and the League merge, form the Paranormal Liberation Front.
Massive villain alliance. Bigger threat than ever, Hawks manages to infiltrate as a spy. Shigaraki undergoes enhancement experiments.
The season ends with the heroes prepping for all-out war. Things are about to get serious.
And they really do. Season 6 kicks off with Hawks tipping off the heroes about the PLF's impending attack.
Heroes and students launch a surprise raid. 2 fronts. The Gunga Mountain Villa and Jaku General Hospital where Garaki is.
It's a full-on assault. But things immediately go dark. Hawks, forced into it, betrays and kills twice to keep his cover. Heartbreaking. Twice his quirk-made clones.
The hospital raid goes wrong too. Mirko fights the high-ends, but President Mike accidentally destroys Shigaraki's pod, waking him up early.
He's got way more power now. Decay is supercharged, plus he has the all-for-one quirk. His main target, Deku.
As soon as Shigaraki wakes up, Gigantomachia goes berserk, rampaging towards his master. Midnight tries to stop him.
And is killed by the villains following him. Her last message tells Momo to lead the students in trapping Gigantomachia.
The students try to sedate him, but he transforms, fights back. Eraserhead uses his quirk on Shigaraki.
But Shigaraki, insanely powerful now, shoots Eraser's leg with a quirk-destroying bullet. Aizawa has to cut off his own leg to save his quirk. Horrifying.
Just devastating. Shigaraki regenerates super fast, but then Deku unlocks Float, Nana Shimura's quirk.
You fight Shigaraki in the air, uses Black Whip to buy time. Amazing visuals.
Just when things look really bad, Endeavor and Bakugo join the fight, but Shigaraki fights back with sharp tendrils.
Seriously injures Endeavor, and then fatally wounds Bakugo, who pushes Deku out of the way.
That moment. Just awful. Gut-wrenching. Deku completely loses it. Enraged.
Unleashes this furious attack on Shigaraki. All for One urges Shigaraki to retreat, but he refuses. Gigantomachia arrives with the League.
And then another huge shock. Dabi reveals himself. He's Toya Todoroki, Endeavor's supposedly dead oldest son.
Accuses Endeavor of abuse, broadcasts his dark past to the world, attacks Endeavor and Shoto.
Just as Dabi attacks, Best Genist returns. Everyone thought he was dead. Restrains Dabi.
Shigaraki orders Gigantomachia to destroy everything. High-end Nomu attack Genist, but then Mirio returns. Quirk restored by Eri.
Even with Mirio back, it's chaos. Spinner helps a weakened Shigaraki escape. Nomu cover their retreat. The war ends. Kinda.
In the aftermath, heroes mourn huge losses. Many retire, reputations ruined, society is shaken.
And All for One orchestrates a massive breakout from Tartarus prison. All the worst villains are loose. Chaos.
While recovering, Deku learns from the vestiges. One for All shortens the lifespan of wielders who already have a quirk. He's likely the last user.
He makes the tough decision to leave UA. Writes letters telling his classmates the truth. Wants to protect them by facing the danger alone.
So sad. He goes rogue, embraces the increased power, becomes obsessed with finding Shigaraki. Vigilante Deku arc looks terrifying.
But his classmates refuse to let him go it alone. They track him down, try to bring him back.
He initially refuses, fights them off. But then Bakugo delivers this incredibly sincere apology for everything.
Admits he looks up to Deku. It's a huge moment of growth for Bakugo. Finally breaks through to Deku.
It really is. Class 1A tries to bring Deku back to UA, but the civilian refugees refuse to let him in. They're scared.
But Ochako steps up, gives this really powerful speech. Heroes need saving too. Sways some people. They let Deku return.
At the end of Season 6, Stain confronts All Might, gives him intel on Shigaraki, still sees All Might as a true hero.
All Might reaches out to the World Heroes Association. Most countries refuse, but the U.S. sends their #1, Star and Stripe. Huge All Might fan. Leads into Season 7.
Season 7 starts with Star and Stripe arriving, ignoring orders. Her quirk, New Order, is insane. Lets her change reality rules for things she touches.
But Shigaraki, riding a flying Nomu, intercepts her first. Wants that quirk.
What happens next is this unbelievable massive fight. Star is incredibly powerful, inspired by All Might.
In the end, though, Shigaraki manages to touch her, steal New Order. Seems like he decays her.
But Star has one last move. Before dying, she gives a final order to New Order. Rebel against the other quirks.
Causes a bunch of quirks inside Shigaraki to destroy each other. Leaves him significantly weakened, delaying his plans. A crucial sacrifice.
Class 1A learns about this, prepares for the final war, and then the shocking reveal.
Yuga Oyama and his parents are moles for All for One, giving him info because Oyama was born quirkless and AFO gave him navel laser. Blackmail.
When found out, Oyama explains. The heroes reluctantly let him stay at UA to help trap All for One. Risky.
On the villain side, Dabi gives Toga a vial of twice his blood. Uh-oh. Potential sad man's parade incoming.
Heroes build this fortress for civilians, prepare for the final battle.
On Operation Day, Aoyama lures Deku out, following AFO's orders. All for One appears, ready to steal One for All.
But it's a trap, set by the heroes. All for One starts warping villains to him.
But he's surprised. The heroes warp in too. The final battle begins, using Monoma copying Kurogiri's warp gate. Genius plan.
Heroes move to Phase 2. Split the villains up using more warp gates, send them to different prepared battlefields.
Different matchups everywhere. Shoto versus Dabi, Endeavor, and Hawks versus AFO.
But Deku, who was supposed to go to the floating UA fortress, gets pulled by Toga into a different warp gate.
Sends him far away. He has to race back to UA on foot, using gear shift.
While Deku's racing back, a group of heroes fights Shigaraki. Intense battle. We also get the Todoroki showdown. Shoto versus Dabi.
Shoto finally defeats his tormented brother using a powerful new move, Great Glacial Ager, encapsulates him in ice.
At the same time, Hawks, Endeavor, Tokoyami Jiro, and others fight All for One desperately.
Meanwhile, the heroes fighting Shigaraki at UA Mirko, Genist, Edgeshot, Mirio, Tamaki, Najira, Bakugo are struggling hard. Shigaraki is adapting.
Bakugo pushes himself beyond his limits, uses a new move, Howitzer Impact, Cluster, Strafe Panzer, lands a huge hit.
But even that isn't enough. Shigaraki takes the hit, destroys one of Bakugo's arms, but then
Bakugo keeps trying but gets hit through the heart. It looks like he's dead. Edgeshot tries to perform surgery inside him.
Shigaraki then kind of loses it mentally again, goes defensive. Thankfully, Mirio distracts him,
giving Deku the chance to finally arrive. Just in time. And that's where Season 7 is at right now. Cliffhanger.
Wow. What a ride, seriously.
Right. From a quirkless kid with a dream to facing the most powerful villains imaginable. Deku's story, this whole world, is just packed with so much.
So much action, emotion, incredible character growth. It's really something.
We've covered so much in this deep dive, hitting all the big moments, the key conflicts across these 7 seasons. Hopefully this gives you a really good overview of everything that's happened so far.
Yeah, a solid foundation if you're jumping back in or just need a refresher.
There are still so many cool details, character arcs we barely scratched the surface of here. So definitely think of this as just the start.
For sure. Go back, watch your favorite moments, maybe rewatch some episodes. Keep digging into this amazing story.
What were some of the moments that stuck out to you the most? Got any theories about how this final battle is going to unfold? Keep the conversation going.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? About heroism, sacrifice, hope against overwhelming odds. The creators built such a rich world.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. It flew by.
It really did. So much happened.
Thanks for tuning in to Otaku Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more anime content.